Cure is a word that has been written in a certain way, but it also has been pronounced in a certain way. And actually, if you read the word C-U-R and E, there are not much of these letters that are really pronounced. So there's a second message beyond the written word that directs us, that gives us an idea, gives us an inspiration of attention. So which kind of attention do we need to give it to? Although we have a structure, C-U-R-N-E, we also have a direction in the oral way. So let's look at that part, because what do we have in the word cure? We have here the three regions actually. The focus on the word seems to be that we expect some kind of connection, and it's the only letter actually that has been written, which is the R. It is this connection, this higher region there that connects us, that says, okay, we have a certain time and space ready at some point or another. But the last letter, which we don't even pronounce, says, okay, it has its own time. It has its own time process, the time process in R. That's all we have. And so what is the way how we can receive it? We know with the cure, it's not known beforehand. The only pronounced letters, or the only thing we can fall upon, is about the connection. We have a focus, and it is a focus upon connection. And the end result says, let's give it its time. Let's give it its time to connect. And that's already the most important message which we received by the letters, how they were written. Orally, they are pronounced like Q. Now, the funny thing is, of course, we know Q as a word as well. Q is almost like the waiting line, and that's again that message. No, wait for the turn to connect, for the things to connect. And again, that's the same thing. The basis of cure is in pronouncement, finds its way in its first letter, its starting point, and its starting point as a C. C is used to try to figure things out, where you have two options. You have the S, which basically is like figuring it out within the feedback process to see, like, let's see what we get. But K is the second sort of pronouncement as C, and that means I really don't know. I have no clue how I have to go to, so I have to give it really a lot of attention. K is the third letter in my system here, and this whole system starts with A as I think to know, and you start with it. Or it is that balancing out and say, okay, you have to make a decision there with what you are certain that you can see certain elements. But with K, the dominance of the elements that are not so clear are bigger. So it is more an effect of I do not know my starting point very well, and that's what it is. Beforehand, you do not know. The Y after that is a special letter. It is there in the second degree. It is in the second. The second category on top there about movements and so on. It's at the top layer. It's a starting point within a whole set of movements. That three kinds of movements together, and you have to figure out, okay, where shall I start? And what do you do is on the second level, you always take a choice that you see, okay, here I figure out something, so let's go from there. In the last level, it's that uncertainty again, so you take the most certain adaptations. Actually, you're dealing with the feedback. You have to go to the feedback process. The year is swimming around with as least confrontation as possible. The top layer of directions is quite confrontative because there are a lot of directions. So you make a choice of directions that brings you somewhere. And so you look at the feedback and you try to figure out what it is. So it is that kind of attention. So it's trying to find a way within all its scattered possibilities of directions, and it's swimming its way out of it. And there, with U plus U, so the U also has different meanings. The U on different levels. U is also that kind of feeling like there's a part that you do not know. Let's start from what you know and then start to build up so that you become complete. And that's what the U function is doing there. It's becoming complete simply by taking the time to find things out, recognize certain things. All comes forward from an incomplete idea, but it becomes complete after a while. That is happening in the sound oo. So this whole region is again taking the time, and that's the kind of arrangement that you need to have as an inspiration. You have to know that you do not know it beforehand. You want to figure it out carefully. You do that, and you connect by receiving the things that are received by itself, by recognizing the things and recognizing what you already know, following what the least tension path, and that will bring you towards a certain cure. And that's how it's an inspiration. So I repeat myself a little bit. You start from, that's also what a cure is. You might expect, okay, I will have a solution for a disease or an unknown or an incompleteness. No, it starts from that incompleteness. And that's almost a physical sense, physically at the surface. But you simply follow up what you already know, where that leads to, and all these things are not received immediately. They are received in time, slowly in time, and they connect in time. And these unknowns will connect itself because you take the time for it. That's all what it is, in all of its meaningfulnesses, orally or as a written word. The message is there in the letters. Okay, thanks again for watching. Bye.